Alright guys, welcome back to Mr. Dunn's Ceramic Room, where today we are going to make a project using the rule of thirds. Let's get started. Alright friends, so we're going to make this vase using the rule of thirds. So here's one I made years ago, not knowing that I was doing the rule of thirds. But basically, it's vertical here, and you have 1/3 here, a middle third, and a bottom third. Not perfect, as you can see, but there it is, and full of textures, a different texture basically in every area, except for maybe the spout. Different color. I was using it as an example of all the glazes that I had. And this big handle, big coil handle at the top, a cool crazy lid that can go on there. It was inspired, I think, by a video I had seen online, right? So let's look at that, except the difference that we're going to do is we're going to leave a smooth place. We're going to put textures on our vase, but we're going to leave an area smooth in the center where we can put a picture on there made with a stencil that's made with a laser. Can you see that? Let me hold it a second. Right, so you see the fox there? Okay, so we're going to leave an area very smooth in the center of our vase to put on a cool stenciled picture like that you could never paint on with a glaze brush. Alright, and so I've got a bunch of choices for you to do that with. But first, let's get down here and look at the paper that we're going to use to cut out our stencils to make that type of a vase. Let's get going. Alright, the rule of thirds is basically, in art we have this idea that if you divide your paper into thirds, I'm just going to do it roughly here, close as I can, maybe here, yep, here and here, that a really good place to put focal points of interest are on these corners, here, these intersections. So, rule of thirds, right? Put your person here, your car here, whatever it is, your animal, your bird flying in the sky. If you kind of do that, it's a good rule in art. So we're going to use that to say that we're going to make our elements, say the vase coming into this point, and then changing here, right? And then coming down here. Okay, so point where there's change, a corner in a vase is going to make an accent point. Okay, so the way we can do that is we're just going to go straight across. So we're going to have our 1 point line there, basically one there. I don't know if you can see that, but so we're going to come to change points here. So what I want you to do is to make 3 of these in class. We're going to cut them out, and you're going to choose your favorite one. And then once you've chosen your favorite one, you will put what do you call it? Textures. You'll put textures on these different elements, leaving an area in the middle to put the cool, right, picture on there. And you'll want to pick your picture up first because some are bigger and smaller depending how much space you have. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly here time lapse 3 ideas for a vase. Here we go. Okay, I don't know if you could see these, and so I'm going to quickly go over the 3 that I made with Sharpie. So really we only need one side because we're going to fold it, cut out. So if you like that line really well, we're going to just fold it now and cut it out, right? And we'll have double that length over here. We really don't need to do both sides. So I like that design. You got an element here, an element in the middle, and a finishing element. Let's look at this one. A little more simple, traditional vase style, where we're gonna, I almost want to make this come out more. Gonna curve one way, gonna curve the other way, and then we're gonna curve back this way. All right. the bottom here. What happened? We went way out big like that. That would look funny. So at some point, it's crazy. You're gonna want to find out where. I'm gonna close that off, maybe here. Right. So the thirds are a little off. Okay. So I'm gonna go like that. Hold it, and we'll cut that template out. How does that feel to you? You definitely want it to be stable and not fall over easy. Bring that out a little more of a swish. And if this is here, I feel like maybe I'll go a little taller. And then my third one, I did something like this. I was thinking of kind of a fairly big top, hitting a hard corner, big bulge out. It's going to let me put a big picture in the middle. And then I'm actually going to swoop in a little bit and redirect this one and come out. And we'll figure out where we're going to cut this. All right. And I think that's probably, with that one, I don't really want to be bigger than here. So I'm cutting off the thirds on my paper. But in general, we have our thirds. Okay, so then fold that in half. All right, now we cut them. You see, don't be afraid to adjust things that look funny to you. All right, I think that looks pretty balanced, pretty nice. 1, 2, 3. All right, then put them all out. And we pick our favorite. Which one do we like the most? Do we want, probably I'm just gonna think the most traditional, going up like this. The thicker, bigger circle. Both of these have a great place to put a nice picture inside of it. Or the more fancy, it might be a little more cutting to do in the project itself with the clay, but I'm thinking I want to try this one. These are cool and big. I think I have plenty of room to put my picture there and textures. So I'm going to choose this one. We'll leave these as extra. Then I got to figure out what are my textures going to be that play along with this. And I'm really supposed to make 3 of these and do 3 different textures. That's a lot of paper. Use your eraser, sketch lightly. So first of all, I need to get rid of this other line here. Okay, time lapse. Okay, yeah. Let's allocate the space for my picture here. It's about here, yeah. So really I can't have any textures in there if I'm going to use one this size. Okay, so my textures are going to come around this. I want to play with the edge. I think it helps and come into the picture. It's going to draw. I'm going to have lines coming, all the lines will point to the picture on purpose. So if I bring my, I kind of have this curve continue in. I like that idea there. So we see that. This one curves like this. This one curves in. So it goes from an actual line to a carved line when you're looking at it. These will just share and come straight in. And there we go. So I like that. So now I can say I'm going to carve Alright, this is the bottom, this is the top, kind of got flowery look here and the carvings, the picture will be here. This circle is kind of like a repetitive shape to that, which is always good in art. We have a lot of repeating lines pointing into the picture, so it should draw a lot of attention to the picture on there with all these lines bringing your eye to that picture that we'll do later, like that. Cool. I need to get more examples of these. And that's it. Now you take this to your clay, you set it on the clay, and we're gonna carve it out of a slab of clay. We need 2 of them, the front and the back, and then we need a bunch of strips, 2 inches wide supposedly, to go around the edge. And we'll stand those up, put the top on, stand it up. Let's do this. Bam! There's some clay. Here's our vase. Oh, it fits. Perfect. Okay, we need to cut 2 of these out. Get your trusty blade tool. And here we go. You may have to press down on the paper right where you're cutting because the paper will just push away. So you can push up against it a little bit with the blade. That's one. Let's get another one. Move this out of the way. We want to leave it out so it will dry and stiffen up. If it's too floppy, it's hard to deal with. Okay, I just cut out another one. Have the other one here. Looks like they're pretty much identical. So now the problem is it's so big. It's dealing with a bigger thing here. Big slabs are floppy and hard to get straight. So we're going to keep one here to build our thickness onto with our ridges of clay out here, our sidewalls. But the other we're going to put onto a canvas to start drying. Because imagine putting this on top of that, it's going to want to sink down inside of it. So we need this to stiffen up a little bit, right? And be a little more firm. Actually, I want to go this way. Sometimes you can leave it over the weekend like that. It won't dry out too bad. And with 2 canvases, pinch between there, the canvas will soak some of the water out of it. And then you can come back and it'll be nice and stiff. Leather hard clay that you can put together much easier. I don't know that I have the time to do that, so I'm going to go the rough route. We're going to put 1 on each one of these. So I'm going to build on this. So any water I use will soak up in the canvas. We can flip this over onto there. Alright. Take this scrap, make some long strips, and we're going to go around this part. Right, because this vase is so tall, we need more stability. We need to make it wider than 2 inches. The shorter it is, the less thickness of these walls you need, right? And I was saying 2 inches. Yeah, if the vase was this tall, you could probably go 2 inches, but now that we're getting taller, need a little more stability so it won't fall over. I think we're going to push here 3.5. Let's go. You'll need a mark. Oh, where's my half mark? It's right there. Oops. And my right on. So I need to go from this to that. Probably didn't want to cut that one off, but there we go. So now with this, I'm going to make a bottom that it's going to set on. It's going to have to be bigger. But for now, we roll this around, and anytime we get to a hard corner like this, we have to cut it and do another one, cut it, do another one, cut it, do another one. Alright, so that's what I'm doing here. Now we need to hook it on. So, score. You need to take all this off. You need to score all this, score all this, score the seams. Maybe I'll hook these together all in one piece and put them on. So there's our water. right, now you might ask, how do I put this top on here without it collapsing and sinking down? It is getting a little stiffer after an hour of doing this, but what I'm going to do is the magic of sponges. Look at that. Oh, too tall. I will push it out too. So, all kinds of sponges. We will stack them up in here, and that will support each zone. I'm going to put the bigger one here. Although I want to put my base on first, so that's coming next. Alright, let's cut a base, put it on here, put our top on there. Here we go. We need to get the size of this correct. It is, it's better to be too big. 6 across. This one I want the nicer of the two sides on the out. This looks the cleanest, so I do want to flip it over, and I hope it matches. You could take a sponge and smooth out all your connection points, any major issues. Alright, there it is. We have the bottom, sides, top, all on there. Problem is, I need to clean, see how this is nice and soft? I need to do that to the other side, or stand it up. I need to get all the sponges out of there. It's all fresh still. Check this way out of looking at the other side. I can throw this on here. Pinch it and give it a swing and flip it over. Oh. Don't pinch too hard, you'll crush it. Look at that, it just fell right off. And now I can look at these hard edges and give it a quick sponge over and blending if it needs it. And here we go. If you have some big bumps, you can use a rib like this to clean it up. Totally smooth for a picture. Remember, we're going to carve on a lot of this. I'm just doing this to get our smooth area in the middle. Crisscross it. We should have a really smooth middle there. Go this way. That's really smooth, but I made some gunk on the edge, so clean that up. Now our challenge will be to stand it up and empty it, right? I almost want to pinch it again to stand it up, but I want to get it so it's on the edge of the bottom of the board. So if I pinch it like this, I'm still going to be floating in the air. So I need to somehow, maybe like this. This over there. Go up. Yes. And then move this one up so it is also like that. Now I can just lift it up. Whoa, careful. Going up. We are upright. Careful when you pull it apart that it's secure and holding. I like it. There it is. This was my smooth side, the board. bumped into it, right? So if you made any problems, you can come in and smooth those out carefully. Funny marks up at the top, of course. Alright, I think we are beautiful side. That'll be the front, right? Of course, if you got it good, you can do both sides. Now, let's take the sponges out. You can see the top of this thing. Now to take the sponges out. Although I want it on a canvas to move it somewhere else. So I'm going to go ahead and scared to lift this up and put it on the canvas like that. I made some handprints. Here we go again. Alright. Now, take these sponges out. Pretty dry so they don't collapse easy. Okay. Taking the middle ones first, and then the ones against the wall fall off. Come back for another time in order to glaze this and show how to put the stencil on it. That'll be probably a whole other video. So find that one and click on it if you want to see the finished product. So I hate it when they don't show the finished product on a video, right? It's annoying. There's the last one coming out right there. It's empty. Right? So check out the other video to see the finished product or how to do the glazing if you're at that point. And we'll do that next week. Alright guys, that's it for this project. Don't forget to look inside and see if there are areas that are disconnected on the inside, because that could be an area that will reach through and crack on the outside. So just avoid any cracking. Anything you can blend in on the inside seam lines will only help avoid that. And of course, you know, in our pattern we have, right, remember all that? We want to carve into it, but this is fresh clay. So if we try to carve into it, it can go deep and shallow, and it's really annoying. So it's really nice to do this project on leather hard clay. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and I'll come back. I'll check in the afternoon. Maybe I can get this. I don't know if there's enough time. Otherwise, I'll do it in a couple days. I'll put it in a bag so it won't dry too fast. But once it dries, I can't carve and do this on it. So I've got to be careful. All right. And then that's it. Catch you later. Have a nice time and do your best. Alright guys, so welcome back. I let that dry over the weekend. I forgot to put it in a bag. So I'm going to put it in this big bucket with some water in there and get it all soft. And watch it carefully because it could turn to mush. Dry it off a little bit and get it down here on the table and we'll carve it up. Check this out. Alright, that's it for today. We carved it all out, got our picture there, and off camera I did the other side because I like how fun that was to carve that out, so I enjoyed that actually. So now we're going to put a picture in here with a stencil, but we have to fire it first. It has to be bisqueware. So see you in a couple seconds. And we're back to see the bisqueware ready to glaze. So kind of a sunflower design, I guess people have told me. So I'm gonna do this with a lot of yellow. So we mix up this yellow here and let's glaze it. All right, when you're gonna glaze something this big, a good way to get the inside glaze is to pour the glaze inside and then pour it out. Then you don't have to plunk the whole thing down in there. It's kind of scary how long it has to be in there. So I'm gonna take a bunch of this, clean it off, pour it in there, shake it around, spin it, and then dump it out. While it's spinning it, I should get all the edges. Let's see. Oh, we missed a little bit. So, didn't quite work. Do it again. Want to get a little spot there. All okay, because it's all gonna, if it's too thick or anything, it's just gonna run down the inside and seal it up that much better. Now we gotta do the outside. I do want to be able to see these, so I think I'm gonna paintbrush and mix my colors a little bit. So let's see how that goes. Okay, I have decided to put orange in the cracks, wipe all the excess off, then put yellow over the top, and hopefully the orange will come through the yellow a little bit, so it'll pop these lines out, mix with it. We'll try it. Hopefully it's not a lot of work for nothing. So I want to get it in these grooves mostly, so we're going to puddle it on the grooves and then just take it off. Let's see how that works. Yellow. Let's do this one with red. Let's try some red. Okay, now let's do yellow. Okay, that's it. Now let's put the picture on it. Okay, here we are to put our stenciled picture in here. There's a bunch to choose from. I'm choosing bugs, and I've decided to go because the yellow sunflower with this bee and this butterfly. All right, so they've already been cut out and prepared. I'm gonna go with the bee first here. Let's dry. So you feel it, this side's rough, this side's smooth. You're supposed to put the smooth side down. Then decide how you want the bug. I'm trying to barely see it. I think slightly at an angle like that, right in the middle. Alright, so then you're stuck with glaze. It's very liquidy, right? So you take this stuff, silk screen medium, and you put in like almost nothing. A dusting, woo, like that. That is going to thicken up the whole thing. It's amazing. And we take a stick like this. Look at that. There. So it wants to be over here. So I'm going to push it this way. Try not to go off the edge and get black all over my project. Shoving it. Ah, come on. Go too fast. Make a mistake like that. I think I got it all up there. There it is. Cool, huh? Then wipe that off. Alright, then we clean this off, let that dry, turn it over, do the other side. Of course I can use other colors, don't have to use black, just I know that black works. Contrasts with the white clay. Both directions, grab it, take a look. 2 fingers down. Looks good. Boom. Love it. Then we'll put a very thin coat of clear coat over it and we'll be done. Alright, since I have 2 sides, I'm going to try one side where I bring the yellow in as close as I can and clear coat over him, and the other side I'm going to clear coat the whole circle and see which one I like better. I do want a very thin layer of yellow coming up as close as we can, like that, just to tint it yellow. I mean the center of a, what do you call it, sunflower is all yellow, something like that. Okay, a very thin layer of clear gloss, because it will wipe away the black. It will mix in with the clear coat and get all blurry. You need a very thin coat so it'll be shiny. That's it. You can see right through it, but it doesn't take much to be shiny. This one, same thing. There we go. Thin haze over it. Okay. That's it. Let's fire it and see what happens. Alright guys, one last clip here. I'm at the kiln where I just unloaded everything, and there is our pot, our big vase. We've got the orange did push through, so that was pretty cool. But I did paint one layer on there. It's much thicker here, more stronger yellow on the sides, but on the face, a little thin, but that way you see all the lines in orange, and over here you see them in red. And I just love how that bee came out. Hopefully that is in focus. You can see that, it came out really cool, really prominent and sharp. Again, that very thin layer of clear coat on there, because I've done some with thicker and it does blur it out, it doesn't keep it as sharp. But yeah, with one coat of yellow, the color will come through in those cracks. But I think if you did it thicker like this, you would just cover it up. So be careful of that. There you go. Enjoy. Have fun. Later, guys.